You are subject to the leadership of Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Yes, yes, please.
What do you learn from him?
One, sacrifice. Sacrifice, because the lavish style that Kyagulanyi had before. You're a celebrity, you're driving your Mercedes, the Tundura, you're Umubanda Wakabako Kabi, the person who comes and everything is sorted out, you come on the stage and then you feel the audience. Like, you know, you vibe, you're here and there, no one is, you know. And then you say you sacrifice that good life and you say, I am now going to serve my people.
Well, the Leaders Podcast, People, Purpose and Progress, with me, Simon Chris Makanga. I want to say thank you so much for the people that have joined this wonderful family. And I'm talking about the family of leaders, a family of people who know what they want in life, people who set agendas and work towards fulfilling them. Our special guest tonight is a comrade in the struggle of media, Honorable Zambaali Bulasio Mukasa. He's a former news anchor on NBS. He's a former host of NBS Barometer. He's one that has inspired so many journalists in this country. He has put down the pen and he wants to take on the bigger responsibility of leading the people of Nansana. Honorable Zambaali Bulasio Mukasa. It's a pleasure to have you on the Leaders Podcast.
I am humbled and honored for the opportunity to speak to your audience.
I must say,
not only your audience, but to speak to the world.
To the world.
Yes.
I'm so grateful for the audience that is watching us in the diaspora.
Yes.
And they're giving us wonderful comments. They're following what's happening in this country.
Good.
Keenly. If you go and look at I don't want to market the previous episode.
Yes.
But I'm so mesmerized by the comments that the people are giving towards the leadership of this country.
Wow.
And I'm so humbled that you've given us your wonderful, precious time. I know elections are taking you so fast, but thank you so much.
I want also to thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to come and speak to whoever is watching us. Zambaali Bulasio Mukasa is my name. I am dynamic, result-oriented, that is what I can say. Been in the media for 17 years, and I believe that this is the way to go in order to change our community and to amplify the voice of Nansana Municipality. It's the reason why I am here to speak to you and I am here to talk to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honorable Zambaali.
I love that. Because sometimes people call me honorable and I'm like, wow, people have believed.
Does it amuse you?
Sometimes I say, because remember, the previous days, people used to say, Zambaali. Now they say Honorable Zambaali. And I say, yes, maybe I am dominating, and people have loved the gesture of joining the revolution and changing our country.
Honorable Zambaali.
Yeah.
I am as curious as many people are.
Yeah.
People say, Zambaali has left his job. He now wants to become a member of parliament.
Yeah.
The whole world speaks like that. Why do you think they are missing out in that statement?
Sometimes it is hard for our audience to know where we are going. And when you serve with passion, people really love you and they feel you should stay there forever because you're doing better and they wouldn't wish you to leave. But we also have a career to achieve. I am so passionate in community development and using the skills of public speaking that I have attained in the 17 years, I felt it was much needed to join the struggle and to change our country in peace. As you look around, if I don't do it, who else is going to do it?
Honorable, I'm assuming that I come from Nansana.
Yes.
Nansana is a community of people. I have been there a couple of times. It's a community of vulnerable people. Vulnerable in a sense that they may not afford 3 meals a day. I can describe them in that way. But if you met a group of single mothers, what would you ask them? What would be your first question to them?
For the days I have been moving around the constituency, what I tell the single mothers I always tell them that, as my president said, that this is the protest vote. Stop lamenting. Use your vote to change the status quo. If you feel that the standard of living are unbearable, you don't need to go and fight. You already have a sword in your hand. This is the reason that's why we are challenging the government, saying use your vote to change the narrative. If you challenge the status quo and say enough is enough, use your vote so that we can change the narrative. So that is what I tell them. However, I have specified and built my campaign on 4 major principles, because sometimes when you move across the constituency and across the country, you find where the problem is. Simon, Parliament has tried as much as it can to pass the minimum wage. The problem we have is...
That's a big thing you have talked about.
The minimum wage.
Let me tell you something. Oh my, that has been on my heart for so many years.
It is one of the things I feel, and I've always been meeting members of Parliament after my political talk show, and they said, guys, we are following the laws that we passed in 1984. The minimum wage bill that we have was passed in 1984, and it specifies that someone should be given 6,000. That's $1.3 a month as your salary. To be sincere, Simon.
Honestly, Zambaali, every time I have met a Minister of Investment, Honorable Evelyn Anite, I have asked her this question. You're inviting investors into the country.
Yes.
But we do not, okay, in the name of creating employment for the citizens.
Yes.
But where you're sending them to work, they are paid peanuts. 3,000 shillings, 4,000 shillings a day.
And these investors who are coming in the country, they know.
We are in a country where there's no minimum wage.
Minimum wage.
The bill has been in Parliament, sent to the President, sent back to Parliament.
It was passed in 2015.
You know?
Sent to the President. President rejected the bill because he loves seeing people who are poor.
Could that be the reason?
I am speaking out of my own experience, because when people are poor, they are easier to be managed and lured. So one of the things I am looking up to, if God gives me the chance to be a member of Parliament, minimum wage bill, that one we should fight.
Honorable, now I'm curious to know, what kind of member of Parliament are you going to be? I know you have the grace of God. Your decision to quit that prestigious job, all that fame, and choose to go and wash your hands dirty to sort out the problems of other people, in a nutshell, carry the cross. It's not an easy decision. You must be backed up by the grace of God. And I know you're going to go into Parliament.
Thank you.
But then I'm wondering, what kind of member of Parliament are you going to be? Are you going to be radical? Let me give you examples. Are you going to be like...
The Zacchaeus of Parliament?
Let me give my examples.
Okay, give your own examples.
Are you going to be the radicals of Honorable Uganda? Or you're going to be these people who are like bridge menders, like Honorable Medad Segona?
Who would have to know what is happening in the government and what do we have. Let me give you my thought. Experience is the best teacher. I don't want to cross the river before I get there, because I don't know. Sometimes I even ask myself, but what exactly happens to those who cross the river and go there and then they don't do what we expect from them? So sometimes it's also another thing that I think of and I say, I don't know, but let me first go there. Let me first cross the river and see, because I feel I should stand firm when it comes to issues that really addresses the local needs. Issues like education, issues like health care, issues that I think will address my local area. That one I'll be a bit radical, because I need to speak without fear or favor, because my people need to see that, yes, we are doing something for them. Yes.
Now allow me to speak to some of your responsibilities, because a leader in you has been growing. The seed has been there. It's in black and white. You served as or you're still serving as a media head at the Church of Uganda.
Church of Uganda Media Association.
Yes.
As their president, yes.
You're serving the cultural institution.
Yeah.
You're serving the religious institution.
Yeah.
Culture has been evident in a way that people invite you to their kuchala events,
their
the
functions.
MC functions.
Yeah.
And then religious, you're so active at the Church of Uganda. And now I'm wondering, how are you going to reconcile these two three responsibilities?
Like you have church,
you have church,
you have
culture, and you have politics, or even leadership.
One of the things I looked up to when I was when I got the seed of leadership, I knew that you're supposed to be well grounded in the institutions that are also well grounded. Because when you're in church, church teaches us how to lead.
True.
Because you cannot come from nowhere and then you say you're going to lead people. How?
But if you take some
Yes,
water.
thank you so much. So you cannot come from nowhere and you say you're going to lead.
True.
So for the days I have been in the church, I have headed CMF, I have headed the choir, I have headed the youth in church, I have, up to now I have a choir in Namileme Diocese, in Kazoa Kidikonori. So you learn how to deal with people. Because we all have different ways of understanding issues and things, but you need to know how you can accommodate and be flexible to whoever you find on your way. So I've also been to Uganda, and Buganda Kingdom, per se, has also given me a platform to learn some issues, how you're supposed to mediate some issues. Because we are looking at becoming and changing Uganda as a whole. I know I can be a member of parliament for Nansana, but I am looking to be a national leader or a national member of parliament who can bring ideas that are for Uganda, not for Nansana.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was using the example of Israel and Iran. This war that is happening.
Yes.
The people of Iran, they also have opposition political parties and whatsoever. But when it came to Iran,
they're all united.
They're all united.
I would like to understand something from you.
Yes.
You are subject to the leadership of Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
Yes, yes, please.
What do you learn from him?
One, sacrifice. Sacrifice, because the lavish style that Kyagulanyi had before. You're a celebrity, you're driving your Mercedes, the Tundura, you're Umubanda Wakabako Wakabi, the person who comes and everything is sorted out, you come on the stage and then you feel the audience. Like, you know, you vibe, you're here and there, no one is, you know. And then you say you sacrifice that good life and you say, I am now going to serve my people. That is one. Kyagulanyi was well off. Kyagulanyi was
I hear where you're coming from.
Kyagulanyi was a star. Kyagulanyi was getting his money without confrontations and contradictions, and without accusations that you're hearing all over the country, without enemies that he's now getting. The guy was okay.
Wow.
But maybe he looked at the people that we are calling our... He has a song that he said, our mentors become tormentors. Our leaders become misleaders. I think that is one of the major reasons I said, but this guy is one in a million.
You mean he meant the words?
He was speaking to my soul. That apart from being in our comfort zone, we also need to do something for the country.
Why do you think?
And he started this long time ago when he even said, because we love this country, because we love this nation, we even named our children this country and this city. That guy has a son called Kampala. Look at that. So it is not by coincidence that the guy come from nowhere and said, you know what, I am here for the people. He was. And he will always be there.
Why do you think he's going to be the president? Or why do you think he can be a good president for this country?
I have monitored him. And I have monitored his words. Kyagulanyi is a person who always loved to see people being in the better standards of living. Apart from him being okay, he would love also to see others okay.
Better.
When he was campaigning, he made the first statement that he said, if I become the president, my first assignment is to raise the salary of the security guys, because I know they are doing a very credible job to our country. You know how the security guys are sleeping, you know what they're doing. So I started making statements that are addressing the wananchi, that are looking at someone who cannot be able to get the opportunities of other people that are close to the state or they are close to the government. He said, you guys, the Lance Corporals, the LDOs, I am starting with you. Because I know you're doing the donkey work, but you're paid peanut. I am raising your salary to 1 million shillings. He's speaking to
the real problem.
The real problem. So I don't know unless otherwise, but I am looking at him being so much to the people. It's there for the people than for himself. That is what I'm looking at.
What don't people know about you?
Why do you have to make me leak my secrets to the enemies?
Sanchu says, know yourself and know your enemies.
Yes. Sometimes I reserve, but for those of you who have been finding or meeting me on occasions, they know I am jolly. I love to joke, but I'm so serious when it comes to issues that really make sense. I am dynamic. I can be I am multi-talented. That is what I can say. I am flexible, but I know what I want. If I say I need this, I will always strive and fight hard to achieve it. That is me.
How do you deal with those that you don't agree with? Of course, as a leader, you have opponents.
Yeah, I always love to harmonize and reach on a consensus. For example, before coming into politics, those who had rumors that I am coming even formed a caucus to attack me, to abuse me, like to make sure I don't join the struggle. But this time I have been meeting them and they are saying, we were sorry, we didn't know that this is what you have for us. So I don't want to have permanent enemies in my life.
It's okay to have them.
It's okay to have them, but I don't want them to be permanent.
Keep them permanent.
If I can come, Simon, to you and then we talk and we reach on a consensus, it's okay. Have your peace. Why should I have little issues with you and then instead of taking care of my own problems, I also take care of your own problems because I know you're my enemy. Because remember, when you have an enemy, you need to keep the ear on the ground to know what next from him. So I am getting responsibilities that are not even concerning me. Why?
Wow.
So I would love to have a lot of permanent enemies. So I strive sometimes to reach on a consensus. I have met several of them, talking to them. Why? Why are you doing this?
Oh, that's maturity.
Yes, when they speak to me, you know, Honorable, the reason why we're doing this because I was so much attached to the other person. He has been facilitating me, has been paying school fees for my children. So the reason why I was attacking it, abusing it was because of this. And I said, okay, so can we be better? Yes, I am here to
and
work
shake
with you.
hands.
And we shake hands.
Wow.
I have met several of them.
Wow. Honorable, what are the people of Nansana telling you? It's now how many months since you crossed?
I crossed in March,
yes.
April, May, June.
I know you're very active.
Yeah.
And I still appreciate your time with us. But what are the people of Nansana? I've seen your clips, by the way, on social media. You're walking through. What are they telling you?
I am dominating because my party said whoever is going to have a card, you're supposed to be well grounded and you're supposed to be on the ground because it is people and power.
True.
So I am dominating. That is what I can say. But 4 important aspects that I have learned. One, when it comes to education, I have. They are telling me we don't have a secondary aided school in Nansana division. We have only 5 government aided secondary schools in the municipality. 3 are in Gombe, 1 in Busukuma, and another one in Bweru. Nansana as a division doesn't have 1. And remember, we have the population, we are coming to 1 million population in Nansana Municipality.
Whoa.
Which is one of the biggest municipalities that we have.
Whoa.
That's how I have voters close to 300,000.
Do you look at it like a huge responsibility?
It is huge.
Wow.
It's huge. So in education, they are saying try as much as you can so that we can have secondary government aided. That's 2. Others have been saying it's a huge municipality, you need to strive, and then at least every division should have a member of parliament. But I said no. Under our principles as NUP, we are looking at to make sure the number is not into 500 members of parliament. We cannot waste too much taxpayers' money like that. It is okay, we can accommodate it, but we need to find the things that we are supposed to do for the constituency. So in education, that is one of the things I have seen. Low pay, and a lot of people are leaving government, or they are leaving public service for private business, because it's the reason as why I talked about minimum wage, because I know people are poorly paid. I have visited several health centers, Naboero Health Center too, the Gombe. When it comes to ladies, you know, where they are supposed to give birth from, a lot of issues are happening. And I have not been committing myself, but I have been making promises that if I am given the mantle, I'll be able to amplify all the issues that you're talking about to Parliament. Because as a member of Parliament who has 4 cordial roles, it means when we are going to appropriate the budget and approve the budget, I have to speak to those in power, or I have to speak, despite my president, Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu, becoming a president, I need to speak and understand that yes, we have issues in Nansana Municipality. So health, infrastructure, education, those are the basics I have tried to find out, and I believe we shall make a positive change if they give us the mandate to lead them.
I'd like to speak to your heart.
Because I have a lot, yes.
I know, because we are all human beings.
Yes.
At one point, we walk through the same line. Like you and I could look at this bottle, and our interpretation could be different.
Right.
Now, you and I could walk through the same people of Nansana,
yes,
and speak to them. My interpretation would be different.
It's like reading the Bible.
Absolutely.
We can read the same scripture.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's like reading the Bible.
When you go back home and you put your head on a pillow, of course, you have to reflect and think about what those people are calling you honorable. They tell you their problems. What runs into your thought?
I have become the political father of their constituency. That is what always comes. When I always lay down on my bed, I'm like, I am now the political father of this constituency. But how am I going to change the narrative of our electorates? The government has monetized politics. You need a lot of resources. Because most of the calls I receive, Honorable, I have lost my parent, I have lost a friend, I have lost. Honorable, I need your support.
Even before you've gone through?
Honorable, we have a Thanksgiving. Honorable, we have a fundraising. Honorable, those are the phone calls you're supposed to receive. Day in, day out. During day and during night. 2, apart from the electorates, but there are also some other people that are also looking for position that are going to come. I am an aspiring councillor, Honorable. I am behind you. Would you support me with posters? Would you support me with public address system? So a lot.
Wow.
So a lot of people, after seeing that you're dominating, they are going to align with you. They are going to be behind you. However, as they become behind you, they're also expecting to help them to also win, because it's a collective effort. Now, being a political figure or a political father of the constituency, you have a lot. It takes resources, it takes time and sacrifice to make things happen. There is something I want us to speak about. Simon, when I was talking about the things that forced me to join politics, I only talked about minimum wage. But there are 2 other important issues that I want us to understand, and even the people watching us to understand, that really made me also to say, I also need to be close to these people and see how we can make it. We have a problem in our education system. I was reading a report, I remember it was UEZO something. They do research about education and how, like in P1, when people are starting to, when they're starting their P1, we have 1.8 something people that always enroll in P1.
Every year.
Every year. But you know how many students that reach P7? They are between 750 to 800. Those that complete
P7.
P7.
So the dropout rate is high.
The dropout rate is high. So I don't know where the problem is, because sometimes you said we need to find a problem and then we look for the solution. That's the problem I have seen, that the dropout rate is a bit high, 1.75 to 750 who complete P7.
Wow.
And from P7 to senior 4, those who complete senior 4, they are between 350. 330, 350,000.
Wow.
Just those complete senior 4. And to my surprise, those who will complete senior 6, they are 130,000.
Wow.
Look at those who drop out. Where do they go? What are they doing? To an effective government, you could have been so able to see where is the problem. Is it the UPE? Is it the USE? What exactly is happening? If you're striving to be in the middle income status and to take care of your people,
what are they doing?
What are they doing? And for those of you who will go to tertiary institutions and get diplomas and degree, they are something like 30 to 40,000. So there is quite a big challenge that we need also to find out in our education system.
I don't know how the people will perceive, but most of them are you electorates, by the way.
Yes.
These are residents in Nansana.
They are residents in Nansana. That's where the problem is. So I am looking at it and I say, why? How best can we help our country? 2, I was also reading the Auditor General's report. 44% of our tax revenue is misappropriated, and is, that's where the problem is. Corruption is too much, and another money ends up into wasteful expenditures. As a member of parliament, there is a cardiologist doing the oversight role. Monitor and see if we allocate this amount of drugs somewhere.
Which committee would you want to work for in parliament?
That is too far, Simon. Don't preempt people that are watching the interview. They'll be like, look at this guy. This is where he wants
we
to.
Can bring back like a clip.
United
we have education committee.
Yes. There is a clip that I always watch on TikTok that says moments after. How is it?
Before and after.
Before and after. I wouldn't love to have a lot of clips saying, then you wait for this was before and then after. No,
you don't.
So let us wait and see. But I know every person who joins politics has what we call that social cause for his country. So we are here to see that we can join the forces of change and to revolutionize our country to be a better country.
How do you want the people of Nansana to hold you accountable? Because one of the key aspects of a leader is integrity.
Yeah.
You speak the same thing and act the same thing.
Act the same thing.
How do you want the people of Nansana to hold you accountable?
And that is what I've been doing, holding those in power accountable.
And that's what you've been.
I remember hosting a lot of people and everyone was like, my job is to hold those in power accountable. So you either explain or I give you to the public to respond. So I think I wouldn't love to behave like politicians who promise a lot of things and then they don't deliver. I always want to speak what I think I can be able to fulfill. And wherever I go, I say, you know what, I am here, but I want to speak what I feel I can handle. It's the reason that's why when I'm holding my campaign, sometimes I move with divisions mayor, I move with the mayor municipality to tell them that, you know what, I am not going to be the one to come and do this job for you. But what I will do is to amplify the voice for the road, but the person who's responsible to make sure this job is done is the mayor, or is the municipality mayor, or is the LC3 chairperson. But we need those united forces of change to make sure that we effect this place to be a better place. So that's what I can say. I am not going to promise much. I am not going to say what I don't think I will do. But I want to make sure that we join the forces of change, we become the agent of change and change this country into a better country. And we change the leadership of Uganda to have people that are working for the people, not for themselves.
For themselves.
Yes.
Honorable,
yes.
You've hosted a couple of leaders in this country.
Yes, please.
Is there something that you have learned from them?
Yeah. One, sometimes what they give the public is not what they mean.
Does it scare you?
Yes.
Why I'm asking?
It is easier to be on camera and say, we are going to do ABCD. And then off camera, someone says, You know what? That was a political stand, but I don't think that will work out. And you need to caution and ask.
And
why?
I'm sure people like those must have been good people before, and they must have been consumed.
That is what I can say.
Does this scare you that you might as well be consumed?
Sometimes it scares me a lot, and say we might be having good people, but because we are all captured by the state, sometimes you end up doing otherwise.
I like your response for one reason.
Yeah.
You see, we all have these natural vices within us.
Yeah.
Greed, anger, selfishness, you name them. And that's why I say never never.
Yeah.
I don't know, of late now you're so busy speaking to different people,
Yeah.
different leaders. As a leader, honestly speaking, you can never grow alone.
You cannot.
Everyone is telling you, giving you their words of wisdom, do this, do that. What is one thing that you're learning or you're picking from whoever is mentoring you, or whoever is speaking to you that giving you encouragement? What are you learning from them?
Controlling anger.
Anger.
That is one of the hardest things, but the most important thing that you need to learn in politics.
And leadership.
And in leadership. Sometimes you reach a scenario when you're about to burst. Someone says something and you're like, really? And to my own surprise, sometimes things are said by someone you think or you look at, thinking that at least this one is a bit civilized and is well informed, he knows how things are supposed to be done. But someone poses a question
And you wonder.
And say, really? Are these our people? But what you need to learn is control anger and be a good listener.
A good listener.
That's what I have learned throughout.
Nansana.
Nansana, because
If you don't vote for...
like if you don't listen, if you don't control the anger, you will never.
Wow.
Because they even employ people to come and, you know what, make sure you...
Wow. Allow me give, I don't know, okay, it's a small platform,
Yes.
But give flowers to the people,
Yes.
2 or 3 people who are mentoring you, that you're listening to. I have my people that I'm following.
Yes.
When I'm challenged, I call and I'm like, oh, Papa, this is happening.
Yeah.
And then I listen. Do it this way.
One is Honorable Betty Namboze.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Sometimes when it's too much, I have to call her and say, Honorable, at least for you, you have been into this for some good time. What can I say? How can I respond? Sometimes she's like, keep quiet. That is politics. Please don't. Don't give them the platform to abuse you. Don't give the platform to... So Honorable Betty Namboze, please, thank you so much. Honorable Waiso Mufumbiro, thank you so much. He's one of the guys who always follow whatever is happening on social media and he gives me a call. Have you seen this? This one don't respond. This one do this. Thank you so much, Honorable Waiso Mufumbiro. He's a credible guy who has helped me to, maneuver and know, because the politics of NUP is a bit diverse and hard to understand. You just need to know how.
So he's helping you affirm your step into NUP.
Yes.
Wow.
Not even affirming, but to give me the clear direction
Guidance.
and guidance on how you should respond. So sometimes he says, please don't talk about me. But I feel...
he deserves the flowers.
And another person is not in politics. The guy that you've seen here, Scott Katonga Lawrence, my PA. That guy. Sometimes I'm like, but you know what? I am leaving. And they say, no, Zambaali, if you feel like leaving, remember why you started.
And I've also wanted to know, ever felt like giving up?
Yeah, like you say, but why? And the guy's like, remember why you started. And you're not alone now.
Wow.
I'm also on you. I left my family. I left my job. I am moving with you.
Wow.
We have to make it happen.
Do you look at it like a big responsibility?
A lot.
My God.
Because sometimes you feel you're worn up and you're like, shh.
Wow.
The guy will be like, please.
Honestly, people of Nansana, if you don't vote for Honorable Zambaali, you're going to do yourself a disservice.
And my wife, I am not going to mention your name. Thank you so much. Because sometimes I come back when I am not myself. And you're like, yes, you're supposed to be a honorable member of parliament.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
I come back and I'm like, but you know what they say? Whatever the circumstances, you're supposed to be.
A member of parliament.
You're supposed to be. So that single word, I don't take it for granted.
I'm going to reserve my question how you stay motivated. The people, you have a good support system.
They are always there. They're like,
Wow.
Zambaali, we don't, please don't. Others
Wow.
are giving me guidance as I navigate the political turbulences, as you know. But the people also who are close to me, and
Wow.
those who are giving me prayers, my mom, my auntie. There's also another person that I'm not going to talk about. He says, you, man, you left your job. You left your celebrity life. You came into politics to speak about the issues that we cannot be able to speak about. For us, we are coward. But you have stood firm because of our right. You have stood firm to tell those in government that they are supposed to be better and do things to their people. I am going to put you on my salary scale structure. As I pay my workers, I'm going to be paying you as my staff.
Wow. That's deep.
He said, at the end of every month, come and pick your salary.
Wow.
But he said, never mention my name, and I don't need to. But I am just giving you a picture. I'm painting a picture of those who say, what you're doing is better for our country. The only thing he does is say, try to be liberal, don't be too radical. I know you can be radical, but I am seeing that intellectual part in you. Please be liberal. Listen to them. Even if they're in power, even if they have done a lot that we cannot even imagine, listen to them. Hear what they are saying, but respond to them in a good way, because I know you can respond to them and you can convince them to leave government and support
Sometimes
your side.
you fail to convince.
Because sometimes it's too
Will
much.
you?
Sometimes it's too much. You're like, I shouldn't be convincing you. You're doing these great things. You're doing these serious things, and then why should I be convincing you?
Then you join them.
But no. The guy's like, make sure don't join.
Don't join.
But make sure be liberal. So maybe he's just scared that he can be a bit radical, because sometimes he sees me when I am off. I am like, but you know what? These people, what are doing for this country, it doesn't make any sense. And say, it is okay. Time will tell.
One of the things I like about you, let me also appreciate you for one thing. Honestly speaking, your love for God.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of clips of you, especially on X, giving Bible verses.
Yeah.
What's your best psalm? And then you tell us what you tell God every day.
Let me first give you my scripture now. It is in 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 9. The door of leadership is opened, but you've got a lot of enemies.
The door of leadership is open, and you've
With
got
a lot of responsibility, but you have a lot of enemies.
Givunle mu Luganda.
Mu Luganda, laba oluggi lw'obuweereza obungi luguddwawo, naye abalabe bangi. Bakolinse ekyolubereberye sula 16:9. That's now my verse. Lwemba ngenda okwebaka ngamba Mukama, oluggi lw'obuweereza obungi olunene buguddwawo, naye ngambye abalabe baki bangi. Then this is what I tell God. When the children of Israel were enslaved in Egypt for more than 40 years, or for 40 years, there was a time when they were supposed to leave Egypt to the promised land. To their way to the promised land, there was a scenario when they found the Red Sea, and the Egyptians were marching over them. They cannot go in, and they cannot return. So they reached the scenario where they stuck. They cannot move forward, they cannot go back. And that is where I am. I am moving forward. There is a lot of roadblocks. I cannot come back, because I left media for good purpose, to liberate and to join the forces of change. And this is what I tell God every day. That when people were complaining to Moses that you're bad, you persuaded us to come in the desert and then we die from here. You knew you don't have enough burial ground, and then you said, let us go. Moses said to them from the God that stand still and see the salvation of the Lord.
Wow.
That's what I remind God, that God, you said I should stand still and I see your salvation. I want to see your salvation when I win this battle and when I win my enemies. That is what I tell God.
Well, Honorable, we've come to the end of this conversation. I would like you to look into the camera.
Yes.
And speak to the people of Nansana. What will they miss out if they don't vote for you?
To all my voters in Nansana Municipality, I want to say, first, thank you for the reception you gave me when I left media for elective politics. You have supported me, you have loved me, and we have dominated the constituency. But the battle is not yet over. We are still striving to have the party card, and I believe if I secure the party card, I'll also be able to raise the flag high for our party NUP to win the Nansana Municipality constituency. But I want to say this. If I happen to become your member of parliament, please don't avoid me. The reason that's why you'll be failing us is giving us your votes, and then you don't also check on us. Remember, when you win, you become the father of the constituency. You're going to be serving those who voted you into power and those who did not. So don't say, I supported him and it's for him to look for me. No, please, avail yourself so that we can serve together. Let's have a collective effort to make sure that we serve our community and we better it to a place that we also strive to see and have. So it's my humble prayer that you stay alive, that God protects you and guide you until on the voting day. And on that voting day, please don't forget, we are into what we call protest vote 2026. You challenge the status quo and change and vote those that have not given you services out of power, and then have my President Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu in power, and also have Zambaali Bulasio Mukasa as a member of parliament to amplify the voice of our constituency and prioritize the things that addresses those local needs that you're looking for. Remember, the experience I have and the skills I have is to hold those in power accountable. That one, I'll do it. The other skill I have is public speaking. I will be able to speak without fear or favor and amplify the voice of Nansana Municipality for God and my country.
Wow, friends, I cannot add a word on that. And thank you so much for coming through,
Yes,
Honorable.
Yes, please.
I must say thank you so much for sharing your wisdom.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for being part of this conversation, the Leaders Podcast, People, Purpose and Progress.
Wow.
You've indeed spoken from the heart. And allow me say, may God be with you.
Amen.
May He cover you.
Amen.
May He seal you with His mighty blood.
Amen.
As you're traversing the different parts of Nansana,
Yeah.
may you be a voice to the voiceless, and may you take you to the promised land.
Amen. I receive.
Friends, thank you so much for being part of this conversation. And if you have come this far, it means you are part of this family. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so that you become a member of this wonderful family, a family of leaders. My name is Simon Chris Makanga, and may the good Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be with you until we meet in another video. For now, it's a bye-bye.